Welcome back.
Quick turnaround.
Quick turnaround. So,
I credit you for that.
yeah, that is all me. I went out there and said, hey, wrap it up. And they just,
Everybody,
they
you
did
know,
it.
the match
They
slips got
wrapped.
signed, etc., etc. Kind of winning them, it's a totally different feeling. All right. And Brice on tapping. Into nothing. Replacement?
All right, so we got another, you know what this one is?
Oh gosh. It's not Elira. It's Imara.
Mara. There she is.
Soul of the
Soul
Accord.
of the Accord.
Soul of the Accord.
All right, we got a flipped. I don't remember the name of the land. Treasure Cove, is that what it is flipped? I believe so. I don't know. Versus two lands and a Mara.
Soul of the Accord. Little cross branding there. You can call her Key of Soul of the Honda Accord.
I suppose you can do that. So once I'm confident that my audio is being heard, I will elaborate on this a little bit. Maybe. Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right. So I really like Angrath here, and just in general in this format.
Yeah.
Steals Crassus, kills Crassus, which is a huge deal.
Okay.
The plus ability to force discard is relevant against almost every deck.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a number of decks that kind of revolve around filling your graveyard. So even the ultimate is much more game-winning than it has historically been.
Noted.
So Trevor, with his 3 lands, I think he's counting them out. No, he's just thinking. All right. So we're going to run out the Pitiless Pontiff. Not sure I would do that until I untapped with a creature, but...
Yeah, you never know. It looked like he had Night of Autumn available to himself there.
Yeah, I'd probably run that out.
I would have just been like a Night of Autumn to milk my life total up a little bit. The thing is, when you're behind on land, it means you're typically ahead on cards in hand.
Not the case here, but yeah.
Right. So when you're in that situation, you want the game to go long, so that you can make up the land advantage and cast out the cards in your hand.
Right.
Hopefully 2 at a time.
Brice attacks into this Pitiless Pontiff. Just so he can Deafening Clarion. We're just flexing at this point.
Yeah, weird flex, but okay.
My opponent's got 12 cards in hand.
Here's a...
I think I will just run out this 1 for 1.
That guy makes you a token every time you cast a multicolored spell, is that correct?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a good one. All right, we're going to force another discard, get rid of another Mortify. Wasn't really doing much anyway.
Yep.
Trevor gets his 4th land. Runs out a Night of Autumn. Blows up the last treasure.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. I mean, you should have just... You either make it big or...
You put counters on it.
Yeah, protect your life total, do something.
And a turn. Brice should have a lot of removal. Alright, so here is the Clarion.
Yep. Dealing some damage to everything.
One thing in particular.
Yep.
Trevor is now Hellbent. But he can cast almost anything he draws, including this swamp. And he's seen enough. He's skipping it off.
Yeah, you're not going to beat the Angrath unless you have, like, he can't have Bedevil. It would have to be Vraska's Contempt, specifically, in his deck.
Yeah. Or, you know, a board presence.
Sure. Sure. But I'm saying it doesn't matter what the Angrath does. The Angrath could literally be like, get an emblem that says, make a 1/1 with haste every turn.
Sacrifice it in his turn.
Yeah, sacrifice it in turn. You're just like, alright, you're going to lose to that eventually.
The end of turn, get a Spark Elemental.
Get end of turn, get a Spark Elemental, restart your end of turn step. Yeah. not gonna come back from that. So we had a couple of new decks. In Esper Control made 2 appearances in the top 8 on the back of Kaya's Wrath. So both of these have the same thing in common in that they played 3 Wraths and 1 in the board, 3 in the main, 1 on the board.
Yeah.
They played 1 Chromium and 4 Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. So I think the other cards in the deck are kind of, you know, they have to be there, and you have to have some mix of counter spells and card draw, and you know, at different points in the curve and that kind of stuff. Interaction.
Yeah.
But the cards I mentioned before, the Wrath, the Planeswalker, and the Dragon, are all cards that the deck kind of pivots around. And your mana base has to reflect those as well.
Yeah, Kaya's is a tough one to cast.
Yeah, the 7th place list here I'm looking at had 26 lands in it.
I think that's probably right. The other one in 25?
The other one had 27.
Okay. Yeah, I want all the lands in this.
So you love the 27.
Well, so it's not so much that you want to hit like your 7th land drop or whatever.
Right.
You do. But you have a lot of card draw that can get you there before that. The bigger issue is that you need so many mana requirements to be able to consistently cast Kaya's Wrath on 4.
Yes.
And still be able to dream of casting it and absorb.
Yeah, the other one that this deck plays is Precognitive Perception.
Sure.
Which is the instant draw 3. It addendums you can scry 3 and then draw 3, but I don't think that's a worthwhile endeavor, in my opinion.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah, that's much better. Scrying 3 and then drawing 3.
Okay.
Much better than drawing 3.
It's like getting stuck on 3 lands or whatever else you can.
Yeah, but I think you would have to have like 10 mana in play to do it.
First land drop.
Yeah, no, I mean, it depends on the
To
board
be
state.
like, I want to go that many
If
shields
you're like
down.
3 against the red deck, then sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so you would think that they would play 4 of all the multicolored lands. This deck has 4 Drowned Catacomb, 4 Glacial Fortress, 4 Isolated Chapel, 4 Watergrave, 4 Hollowed Fountain, but only 3 of the Godless Shrine.
Yeah.
2 swamps, a plains, and an island.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's a lot of land. The thing I think they're doing well is that with all this land, they have Syncopate, which if you get ahead on land drops, you just get to, you know, it becomes a much more effective card. Oh, we got the Lost Flowers. Oh, that's a spooky name.
Spoopy Flowers.
Spoopy Flowers.
Wow, look at this keep from Brice. The old 5-lander 2 removal keep.
1 red, 1 black.
Yeah, just take the Mortify.
Triple red, double black.
Get that question mark off of Mardu Control. This is absolutely Mardu Control.
Yeah, absolutely controlling. I don't think I saw. I don't think he had an attack phase where he declared an attacker. Oh, that's a lie. He stole. He stole his opponent's
and created
attacker.
a token and then attacked with that multiple times.
Yeah, get it. There we go.
Did he keep a 1-lander? Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, there you go.
Well, young Nelson, your name is Spoopy AF. Here's my name. I'm a lost little flower. I had the nickname Little Flower amongst a certain group of friends a few years back. And by a few, I mean more than 10.
All right. That's more than you need to know. Looks like he did keep a 1-lander. Doesn't matter. He's not going to get punished for it because he played a 2-drop and Brice kept a 5-lander.
Yeah. Yeah, Brice got lucky to draw the treasure map.
Yeah, it's a nice top deck,
Puts one down.
but that's why you put it in the deck.
Yeah, listen, you can't play these cards unless you put them in your deck.
Absolutely true. He should have scried before he drew, if that's what he's gonna do.
I try and keep the. Don't forget your trigger. You get a token every attack step. There you go, buddy. Gets out of control. 17 all.
Now, upkeep, scry, try to find that deafening clarion.
Yep.
Upkeep,
Gotta
scry,
go.
Upkeep, scry. There we go. Upkeep, scry, deafening clarion.
Just show me the clarion.
Not a
Nope.
clarion goes to the bottom. Clarion to hand. That's an angel of Brice.
That's not the worst.
It's pretty close to it.
Pretty close to the worst thing you could draw.
All right, so swinging in for 6.
Oh,
Take
that's-
Brice down to 9.
That's good.
Getting another guy. Here's the thing: all these guys are just gonna die to the first board wipe that he draws.
No, he's got the guy that becomes indestructible.
Yeah, that guy won't. You'll have a grizzly bear to deal with.
That's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, I think having a grizzly bear to deal with is a lot bigger deal
It is than
when you're tapped out.
not having a grizzly bear to deal with. That's for sure. All right, we've got a scry to the bottom. We got a flip.
We got more treasure. So this brings the angel online for him.
It does indeed. I don't.
But
know
he would
that,
much rather have.
another angel. So he could Vraska's Contempt the Pitiless Pontiff here.
Sure.
What did he cast last turn? What's that all the way off to the bottom of the screen?
It's the one that triggers on multicolored spells. The token maker.
Oh, the Hero Precinct one?
Hero Precinct 1.
What is this attack? Oh, he's playing around Settle. It's fine.
Yeah, this attack seems pretty loose.
I'm not sure why we didn't attack with all the tokens, but
So what he's doing here is he's realized that if he does this here, he puts Brice to 5, and then he can make an attack for 5 or 6 next turn.
not a Hero Precinct one. It looks like it's the one that lets you draw cards on Dawn of Hope, that one, on Gaining Life.
Oh, okay. The enchantment. This is one that the Wilderness Reclamation decks were playing. Because they can just make a bunch of tokens at the end of turn, like with the Reclamation trigger on the stack.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't tap the treasure cove.
So I mean, I think they were the best designed cards in Ixalan were these cards that become lands. But man, is it hard to like. Like if you mix them in the way Brice has, it gets so confusing to be like, okay, I can't tap that one.
Right.
All right, so you played around, settle last turn,
You
and
don't have lethal,
you don't have lethal,
so you
so
probably just attack with.
some.
Oh,
With,
so you got a pre-combat. We're gonna draw a card.
all right. Draws a card.
Make him think about it.
Oh yeah. Now he's got +1 card. What am I gonna do?
Swing for 5. I mean,
Here's all of them. All right.
you're just gonna take it, right?
Maybe he just puts him not on settle.
Well, it's a good attack without, even if he does settle, because you have the Dawn of Hope. But if we were just going to draw a card there pre-combo, we should have scried first. He just kept whatever was on top, so
Yeah.
it would have been presumably a much better draw. Oh, here's the Kaias.
The old K-Wrath. Krath.
And Trevor, with no mana.
the number of creature you controlled that were destroyed this way.
Yeah, it's not a fumigate.
Nope. It's
It's a 4-mana wrath, is what it is.
yeah.
Minimal upside, but hey, how much better do you need your 4-mana wraths to be?
At the bottom, try to destroy trigger.
I don't know. This might be the worst 4-mana wrath there is. Ritual, so it's probably worse than it.
Depends on where you draw the line.
Yeah. I mean, Mutilate's better than it.
Sure. You think Languish is better?
I'm still at 3 lands.
Probably, yeah. I think Languish is on par with Mutilate.
Do you think Sulphur's Blast is better?
I don't know what that card is.
It's deal 2 damage instant to all creatures. Or if you cast it during your main phase, deal 3, I think.
No. Does it cost, does Sulphur's Blast cost 4 mana?
Yeah. 2 and 2 red. If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, sure. I remember that card now. No, it's just so hard to cast.
Listen, I get it.
Is why I'm.
I don't think it's bad.
Well,
I think it's
I'm
better
down on it.
than. I would rather play that than the one from the previous Ravnica set.
Okay. I like it. I don't mind having those wrenches in the format, you know what I mean? Where it's just like it's a constraint on your mana, yada yada.
Yeah, it makes deck building interesting.
Yes.
I just like it just won't let me not be mana screwed. You were almost mana screwed and then you drew it.
So, Brice at 1 with 2 Angels of Grace in hand.
Yeah, sure. I started with 5 lands in my hand. 4 times.
Really committed to being at 1.
That was different.
Here he is with Brass's Contempt taking him to 3. If I were Brice,
You just flash that Angel. What are you
I would
doing?
play an Angel here. The hero?
Yeah, if you play
Yeah, see,
Angel,
I would have just. Why
and
doesn't he just?
then Vraska's. So you get to steal the hero. No, you can't, because it's -3.
Yep.
So you have to plus here. And then play your Angel.
Yep.
But then you get to minus your Angrath, take the hero, play an Angrath to make a token. And that
Yeah.
feels good.
Sure. I don't know that that's his concern. I think I'd be. I'm interested to see Trevor's list. He's been landlight twice here.
So he's got 4 mana now, so I would just pass with him through. Well, I would attack and see what happens. I wouldn't cast anything pre-combat.
Here's the Pontiff.
So here's the thing. You could just make guys for 4 mana.
Yeah,
You don't need to rely on this hero anymore.
correct.
So casting things pre-combat just doesn't matter.
So hero, he's gonna block it. Fantastic. Here's Angel Grace puts Brice to 1 if he were to be less than 1.
But he gets to go up to 10 by exiling his graveyard. So you can take the Pitiless Pontiff here
Oh, it's sure. You take the Pontiff.
and then swing in for a bunch
Yep,
and then sacrifice
the Pontiff.
the Angel of Grace to the Pontiff to put yourself back up to 10 if you really wanted it.
If you really wanted it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad play at all. Gets rid of this Pontiff, which is going to be difficult to deal with otherwise.
Sure.
Makes the other Angrath in your hand relevant.
Yep.
And lets you pad your life total a little bit there.
A little bit of padding.
You're going to need that with Trevor's Dawn of Hope online now. Here he should just attack the Angrath with the Pitiless Pontiff.
Yeah. He does not.
that is a mistake.
All right. Brice needs to start casting these Angraths, so he needs to negative to go with the Angrath in play. There's no.
So we're plussing it. Get rid of the last card in hand. Well, not the last card, but a card in hand. Let's pass it back.
Here's March of the Multitudes. This is a convoke spell with X in the cost, so it gets very big very quick.
We're going to bedevil your guy that can become indestructible. That's fine.
Brice is going to...
Don't tap that plane, you dummy.
Yeah, you can't tap a planes for a bedevil.
You can't tap a planes for a bedevil.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
You can do that. I've seen it done.
No, well, they broke the rules.
No.
You've seen...
Yeah, I've seen it done.
Oh.
I'm just telling you, man. Open your eyes. It's
listen,
a big world out there.
If I learned one thing from Jeff Daniels, it's that you can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Well, then you learn nothing from Jeff Daniels. Flashing in a second angel.
All right, getting aggressive, tapping the Treasure Cove, block. Gonna go to 1. Gonna go to 1 here.
Don't draw a card.
Trevor's interested in
Don't draw a card.
drawing some cards. Declines the trigger.
So if he doesn't draw a card, he just gets to pay 4 and make a guy
Yeah.
at the end of Brice's turn, and then that's lethal because he's at 1, and you have 2 guys already. But instead, we're going to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, hopefully one of them gets through the bedevil, or the Angrath, I'm sorry. The Angrath activates and forces you to discard.
Yeah, really should have just kept that mana up, but
Sure.
here we are.
It's sometimes when you're in the game, it's harder to see what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your vision becomes lost. All right, here's 3 creatures versus Brice's 2. Brice's Angrath up.
So Angrath has to go minus here to steal the hero.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
then I would just play another Angrath and steal a soldier.
Sure.
And then maybe even play a third Angrath and steal the last soldier.
Sure. Leaves him with no creatures and you with a lot of creatures.
Yes.
And you get to crack in for a bunch.
Just passing.
Just the hard pass.
In a turn, make a guy, and then he's dead, right?
Yep.
Solid plays.
Yeah, so what you have to do there is, this is another situation like I talked about with Trevor mulliganing, or should have had mulliganed much more aggressively, is that Brice was so committed to not killing his own Angrath
Yeah.
by legend ruling it, that he's missed
He died.
the line.
He
there.
died.
He missed the line.
He
there.
literally died.
He wasn't even willing to attack in with the hero that he stole.
Right.
He had given
Instead,
up.
he died.
He had given up in his head. Is my point.
Listen, man, you can't start the punts there.
Yeah, I know, that's why I was like... Well, I
We
was thinking
need
about attacking with a
we need to start the punts earlier.
if I tried to trade it or whatever.
Trevor's. Are we calling non-mulligans punts?
We would have
We got so much
8 punts a night if that were the case.
When it's we only watch an average of let's see,
just toss.
I'm saying that personal note, it's what applies so much pressure. 'Cause
11 games.
I couldn't find a kill spell or a...
Meaning you think most matches have almost 2
Did I?
incorrect mulligans in them?
I think, yeah, most games have,
Copies in my hand, but
or most matches have at least 2 incorrect ones. That's 100% correct.
Okay.
Not because people are bad necessarily, but but because mulliganing is a very difficult skill.
Yes, it's quite difficult.
And
I dedicated
when
a
I
whole year
say-
to it,
You did. You dedicated a year to the mulligan.
and I don't know that I improved that much.
You improved. I don't know that you're not a master, but it takes more than a year to become a master with a mulligan.
Concur.
The mulligan master. Something you have to be born into.
All right, Weezer.
I'm also not a mulligan master. I try to be.
Yes.
I put a lot of thought into it, but
Brice on the play here, and he's got a good one. He's got a treasure map. I've got 3 lands, an angel, and a black card in the back there.
Trevor's keeping a 1-lander with Flower Flourish. The land comes into play tapped.
All right, well,
Does he have any 2-drops? Doesn't look like it.
you can only get a basic forest with Flower Flourish, right?
You get a forest or a plains.
But they have to be a basic one.
I think so.
Get a swamp and I'll flower. Get a plains. Sure.
Flower.
Yeah, basic forest or plains card.
So he really showed his hand here by playing the swamp that he drew and
Sure.
then casting this. Please tell me his base plains. There we go. So you could have played the flower, gotten the plains, played the plains, kept the information about the swamp in hand secret, because even if Brice didn't notice that you just ripped it off the top and immediately put it into play, the fact that you're playing an untapped land there means, and don't have a play, means that that's probably the only other land in your hand.
Here's a Knight of Autumn, getting down one of the maps.
Well, we'll scry first. Not sure why we're scrying with the one that he targeted, but whatever.
Yep, I mean, your intent is truly to flip these maps.
Yeah.
And since you went to the bottom here, I would scry again during your upkeep.
Yeah, with 3-drop. Or what
With
4-drop do you need to play this turn? The answer is none. The old Kaz. Alright, so we've got a Kaya's and a Lyra in hand.
All right, here's the Seraph of the Scales on Trevor's side.
Yeah, I've seen this in a couple decks. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's cool. It gets Vigilance, it gets Death Touch.
I think it's solid and not cool, personally. I think it's pretty poorly designed.
Okay. What do you want? Vigilance and Death Touch and Indestructible?
No, so like putting Vigilance on a 4/3 creature is mostly irrelevant.
Yep.
Putting Death Touch on a 4/3 creature is mostly irrelevant.
Yeah.
If we need one or the other, I'd prefer that the other be lifelink.
I'd prefer it be activated Death Touch and activated Indestructible. Because like when you require somebody to have mana up for the Indestructible,
Sure.
then they're playing behind to gain an advantage on this card, and I think that creates an interesting tension.
Yeah.
It probably would have become a finisher in your Esper control decks.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
that's
they
not
wanted it to
guaranteed.
be a finisher, is the issue.
I would just steal the Angel and bash here.
Sacrifice your Angrath there.
So like, you're,
I would have probably just plus there, and wait till I have mana next turn to
Okay.
steal the Angel, bash, and then Kaya's Wrath if I need to.
does Angrath not kill the creature it steals?
Only if its converted mana costs 3 or less. The Flame Chained.
If it's okay, if it's a small guy, all right. So like, Lyra just gives your angels lifelink and bigger.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I'm interested in, is just like, okay, I'm gonna have this 10-point 20-point life swing. You lose 10, I gain 10. Let's go. Your angel's dead, my angel's alive, and I've got, 2 attack steps.
Well, his
No
angel
way
would
you can race
die.
me. Yeah, right. I thought his angel would die.
See, I think he's just interested in kind of bleeding Trevor out of cards for a little bit.
Yeah, and here comes Trevor with the big attack. He's got Tristani on the
Evil
board.
Chuck from Italy. How you doing?
He's
Saying
got
all of Brice.
Tristani on the board, giving
no,
everybody,
these-
giving everybody a little bit of a boost.
Oh no, they have vigilance.
No effects. Okay. So this dies.
Yep.
You get 5.
Gain 5.
Take 7.
1, 2, yeah. 4,
So taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down to 11.
Yep, Trevor's going to gain some life.
And then he's going to gain 5. Brice is getting 5, so he goes back up to 16.
Greetings from Italy. Is your country the way that it looks in movies, where everything's just hills and green space?
What kind of movies are you watching?
Rom-coms based in Italy.
Mono rom-coms.
It's just all rom-coms all the time. Rom-coms and ER reruns. It's my life. Oh boy, it's funny.
Swinging.
Here comes the 5/5 flyer.
Yeah, now that Trevor's shown his intent to try to take down Brice, I don't see why not. Oh, we're Kaya's this turn. Yeah, that seems aggressive, but
Well, he's getting his rate on it, man. I mean, how many creatures you want to kill with this thing?
no, I understand, and I think it's good. I think that his block last turn was bad. If this was his intent, because he would have been left with 2 spirits if he let the Seraph through,
Yeah.
and could have really taken over the game from there. Oh, did he think that he would gain life equal to the total number of creatures?
I don't know,
Yeah, he killed you.
because that is not the case.
That is not the case, no.
That's it.
Yeah, if he would have taken the Angel and swung in, he would have gained 10.
That's good. Pass.
If that's really what was on his docket there. But these are the first. This is the first week that these cards are legal, so
Yeah, we're all learning. We're all learning. Heck, Angrath's from 4 or 5 sets ago, and I'm still learning.
yeah. I mean, it didn't see a lot of play, and it's got a lot of words. So I mean, I don't blame you.
Right.
All right, now we're making treasures. Now we're talking.
Such a treasured existence here. All right,
All right, so we're gonna plus on Angrath.
going up, and away on Angrath.
Gonna have to play a creature here. Doom Whisperer is the creature of choice.
This is a creature for sure.
It's a good creature.
It's a good guy.
A good creature.
A good gee.
I don't know that it really fits in with what the deck's doing. But it's a good creature. So
Here's the
whatever.
thing. We saw it last season in the
Golgari
Demir.
decks.
In the Demir.
In the Demir decks, yeah.
In the Demir decks is just like a finisher.
Well, the Demir decks were Surveil decks, and it literally has Surveil written on there.
Correct. It literally does. So it's a guy.
Is the 4/4 Demon better? No, but I think the Seraph of Scales is probably better in this deck.
Okay. Here's a take. So Brice has this wrapped up next turn regardless, because Angrath's ultimate is -8. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of cards in their graveyard, and it doesn't matter what those cards are, just as long as they have magic backs and they're in the graveyard.
Yep. I mean, he could swing in and try to get.
Yeah, it goes to 8, but I think he's got
Angrath
8
down.
cards in the graveyard.
Oh,
he's
he could take Angrath down if he really wanted to, but I think he's swinging at Brice.
yeah, puts Angrath to 6 and still loses the game.
You'll go up, it's first or second.
Pays 4 mana to draw 2 cards.
And he'll scoop it up.
That's all she wrote.
All right.
So a couple interesting ones there.
Real interesting.
Neither of those decks I would call on the mainstream radar. And I always find it interesting when those kind of decks lock horns.
Lock in horns. We got 2 more subscribers until we get to this Dark Depth. So
So
if you're on the fence, you got 22 hours. Let's subscribe that up.
call your friends.
Win you some Dark Depths.
You know, if any of you guys have friends that have Amazon accounts and they're not Twitch users, you could call them up and be like, hey, do you want to win something worth money? You can use your one free subscription from Amazon to become a subscriber to our stream. So call them up if, you know, even if they're casual Magic players. I know we got some casuals out there and we love you guys. Some of my best friends are casuals. We're going to go check on some other matches, take a little breather, get a little sippy sip of water because we've been talking pretty continuously here.
Little sippy sip.
We'll see you guys here in about 5 to 8 minutes. Don't go far.